workshop, he will be carrying on the topic where he has left last time, and I would like you all to request to extend full cooperation to implementation of the government scheme, okay, for coding and robotics from 6th standard onwards. Okay. Thank you very much. With this, I hand over the proceedings to Shri Borges.
सुरुवात केल्ली आमी फोंड्यांत तेन्ना ती आमकां सदांच म्हणटा लागले आमकां जी स्थानां मेळटात ती बरी आनी बरी अशी मेळत आसात आनी आज जे आमकां तुमी येवकार दिला म्हाका दिसता देव बरी करूं तुमकां म्हापशेकाराचे सदांच तोंडूच न्ही तांचे आख्खेच काळीजी उदकें आनी हांसतें ओके देव बरी करूं तुमकां सगल्यांक आनी हांगा जे तुमी हांगा मानेस्त लोक आयिल्ले आसात हांव मानेस्त कित्याक म्हणटा जेन्ना आमी आमच्या सांगाताचो EDI जो आसा चौकीकर बाब ताणें तुमकां उलो मारलो आनी तुमी हय म्हणलें हांगा 3 जाण अशे श्रेश्ठ मनीस आसात हांव म्हणटा 3 भागाचे श्रेश्ठ मनीस आसात एक म्हणटा तो इश्कोलांत सुरवात करपी हो मॅनेजमेंटाचो रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह आसा दुसरो म्हणटा तो इश्कोल चलयता तो हेडमिस्ट्रेस जावं हेडमास्टर जावं जो डे टू डे एक्टिविटी करता थंय हांगा उपस्थित आसा आनी तेच भाशेन आमच्या भुरग्यांचो फुडार बरे भाशेन मांडपाक तांकां द फर्स्ट स्टेक होल्डर इन दीस एंटायर इनिशिएटिव्ह ऑफ एड्युकेशन दॅट इज द पेरंट तुमी हांगा आसा म्हूण तुमकां सगल्यांक हांव आभार मानतां आनी दनपारच्या वेळार तुमकां सगल्यांक हांव येवकार दितां जाल्यार हे आजचो हो विशय जो जावन आसा तुमच्या मुखार हे स्लायडीचेर तुमकां दिश्टी पडटलो आनी हांगा कांय उतरां आसात ताजेर हांव हें म्हजें एक वर मातशें मायज घेतलो आनी एक उतराचेर सुटावो करून तुमच्या मुखार हांव मांडटलों आमची येवजण सरकाराची येवजण कितें आसा ही स्कीम कित्याक ताचें बरेपण आमच्या राज्यांत कित्याक जाय आनी कशे भाशेन आमी सगल्यांनी एकामेकाक हात दिवन एकामेकाक सांगात दिवन आमी कशे भाशेन मुखार वचपाक जाय होच ह्या एक वराच्या म्हजें जें हांव तुमकां सांगतलों आनी तुमचे लागीं आयकतलों हाचो होच हेतू जावन आसा जाल्यार हांगा कांय उतरां अशीं आसात ताचेर हांव उल्लेख करतां एक म्हणटा तें दिस इज अ awareness about what? About something which we are going to be launched on a pilot basis. And what are we launching about is the advanced curriculum. आता advanced curriculum म्हणल्यार robotics म्हणल्यार coding scheme म्हणल्यार हे जायतेच तुमच्या मनांत विशय आसतले तुमच्या मनांत प्रश्न आसतले आनी कितें काय हें आज आमी कितें करूंक सोदतात हे सगळें म्हाका मातशें वेळ दियात जशी जशी हांव स्लायड चेंज करतलो हांव तुमकां तुमच्या मुखार हें विस्तारान सांगतलो पूण सुरवात करची पयलीं हांव सांगून दिवंक सोदतां हांव नोडल ऑफिसर जायत हो प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर हे स्किमीचो जायत पूण पयलो हांव एक शिक्षक आनी जेन्ना शिक्षक उलयता तेन्ना सदांच सुरवात करूंक जाय आपणाच्या क्लासीच्या मुखार केन्ना एक स्टोरी सांगप And this is something which is called as important to draw the attention of the audience. आणि ही स्टोरी जी सांगता ही बेश्टी काणी न्ही एक इतिहासीक घडणी तुमच्या मुखार हांव दवरतां आनी म्हजो सांगाते म्हजो सर आसा तो तुमचे लागीं 3 अशीं चित्रां मांडटलो हे पयले चित्राचेर मातशें तुमचें लक्ष मातशें म्हाका आशिल्लो लायट मातशें ऑफ केल्यार ही एक लायट मातशी आपली ऑफ केल्यार सो दॅट यू कॅन सी इट बेटर पयले चित्राचेर तुमचें लक्ष घालूंक सोदतां एक इतिहासीक फोटोग्राफ लंडन शारांत 1919व्या ह्या वर्सांत एक्झॅक्टली 1896 ह्या वर्सांत हो फोटोग्राफ काडिल्लो आनी तेन्ना लोकांक एका शारांतल्यान त्या दुसऱ्या शारांत वचपाक घोडे घेवन तांकां वचपाक पडटालें These were called as the horse carriages and they were called as the kings of the रोड. अशें घडलें की बिफोर 10 years बिफोर एक मनीस जर्मनाचो इंजिनियर प्रिसायसली इन द इयर 1888 ताजें नांव जावन आशिल्लें कार्ल बेन्झ. आनी हे कार्ल बेन्झ इंजिनियरान आपणाच्या जर्मन शारांत एक नवी मोटार गाडी ताजें स्थापन केलें. He invented the motor vehicle and it became a phenomenon in the entire Europe. Why? Because he made his wife to drive in the entire Europe. So a lot of reporters started saying a woman driving a vehicle, and that time they didn't call it as a motor vehicle, they precisely called it as a horseless carriage. They called it as a horseless carriage. आणि तेन्ना खूब चळवळ जाली. कित्याक काय? चळवळ अशी जाली की जे लोक हे चलयताले, हो धंदो चलयताले, कसली गोड्यांची हो धंदो चलयताले, ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन, तांची मोठी चळवळ जाली की आमी आमचे आमचे वेवसाय आसा, आमचो जो धंदो आसा, आतां ताका चौपट जातलो काय, आतां बंद पडटलो काय, असो तांचो एक चिंतप जालें. देखून हें दुसरें चित्र तुमच्या मुखार दवरता. आनी दुसऱ्या चित्रांत this horseless carriage has got one policeman in front who is carrying a red flag. तांबडा भावटो घेवन तो मुखार वता. कित्याक काय? एक ले अशी काडली. एक ले लंडन शहरांत अशी काडली which was called as the red flag rule. आनी ले अशी जाली की ही घोडो नाशिल्ली गाडी जर तर रस्त्यार हाडपाक जाय ते गाडयेन फकत 4 किलोमीटर प्रति घंट्यान ताणें वचपाक जाता त्या रस्त्याचेर. ताज्यार चड गेल्यार ताका फायन पडटली. दिस वॉज कॉल्ड एज द रेड फ्लॅग रूल. म्हाका दिसता कांय तुमी मास्क घालून आसा आनी थोडी हांसता. असली कशी पिशेपणां ही चल्ल्या? म्हाका तुमकां एक विचार करूंक जाय. हांगा उपस्थित तुमी मान्यस जे आसात, म्हाका सांगात कितले जाण हांगा तुमी घोडे नाशिल्ले गाडये घेवन आयल्यात? मातशे हात दाखयशात तुमी. घोडो नाशिल्ले गाडये कितले जाण घेवन आयिल्ले आसात? म्हाका दिसता सिस्टरी चलोवन आयले दिसता म्हाका. And you also came with your horseless cars? Good. I want to now pay attention to the third picture. The third picture has been taken in the year 2012. And this picture says, Godo gelo to gelo, driver gelo. Godo gelo to gelo, driver gelo, because gadi ji ata asa, it is called as a driverless car. जाल्यार तुमच्या मुखार हांव एक प्रश्न करता, जो एच.जी. वेल्स हो मनीस लेखक अशें बरयता, आपणाच्या एक लेखिकेंत अशें बरयता, आनी त्या लेखिकाचें नांव जावन आसा अ शॉर्ट हिस्ट्री ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. आनी तातूंत एच.जी. वेल अशें म्हणटा, एडॅप्ट ऑर पॅरिश. एडॅप्ट ऑर पॅरिश. हांव कित्याक लागून असो उल्लेख करता? The people who protested and did not change their occupations may have perished, I don't know, 100 years back. But the people who found a new opportunity, they said we will create a new industry, and that's why 100 years later we have got the topmost automobile industry. Automobile industry has been established and is the one which is creating the entire ecosystem of the whole world. One of the great economic money growth machines is the automobile industry. Adapt or perish. आणि हेच मनान धरून आमच्या सरकारान एक स्पेशलाइज्ड बजेटेड स्कीम called as the Coding and Robotics in Education scheme ही 2021 वर्सांत as part of the budget this was announced. आणि आमी हाच्या अंतर्गत आमी जायते कार्यक्रम केले आमच्या टिचरांक आणि आमच्या स्कॉलाच्या भुरग्यांक 6वेचे जे भुरगे असले सातवेचे जे भुरगे असले आणि आठवेचे जे भुरगे असले तांकां आमी तांकां कंप्लीट ICT रिवाइज ICT करिक्युलम घेवन मुखार सरले आणि एक वर्स आमच्या टिचरांचो आधार घेवन आमच्या हेड ऑफ इन्स्टिट्यूटचा आधार घेवन आमी मुखार सरले आणि हे एक वर्साची जी जर्नी आसा कशे भाशेन आमी मुखार व्हेली हो मातसो व्हिडिओ तुम्ही मातशे पळयात.
New education policy 2020, coding and computational thinking skills are being imparted to school students in Goa through a unique initiative. What seemed impossible due to the COVID pandemic was made possible through an innovative scheme called Coding and Robotics Education in schools. Unlike conventional approaches, this scheme has succeeded in bringing about convergence. The Directorate of Technical Education runs the scheme, which is implemented to the Directorate of Education in all government and aided schools. It is supported by the State Council for Education, Research and Training, industry professionals and industry partners on a non-commercial basis. An executive committee headed by the CM personally, along with industry experts, serves as a guide to the project management unit, formed of select officers pulled from different departments, which is driving the implementation. Industry experts and leading IT professionals from Goa are working on the pedagogy research, syllabus curriculum and training of teachers. A syllabus committee of industry experts led by an IIT professor in consultation with agencies like PyJam Foundation referred to existing curriculum like the CS Pathshala and came up with an outline of the syllabus and curriculum customized to the needs of the state. To ensure long-term success, existing computer teachers were trained to impart this education. However, 90% of the teachers were not equipped to teach coding. This was handled innovatively. Industry experts trained 20 master trainer teachers for 2 months through an online-offline mode. The lesson plans were concurrently developed during the training. These MTs further trained the remaining 500 teachers. 50 coordinator teachers from these 500 were identified, who continuously organize weekly hand-holding sessions for their colleagues in each taluka. Online meetings and social media groups for teachers and students are being used to overcome COVID constraints. The curriculum, which is hands-on, needed an innovation in the method of implementation at the school level. Regular classes during school hours are conducted by existing teachers who impart the basic and compulsory aspects of the curriculum. Add-on classes after school hours, which will start from 2022-23, will impart advanced curriculum to only interested students through specially hired Teach for Goa fellows, who will be engineers trained to impart such knowledge. The scheme is being implemented using open source software and hardware such as Scratch, GIMP, Blender, Kojo, including mobile devices as computing devices and not just laptops or desktops. The curriculum, concepts and tools are such that students can use them on mobile devices as well. Single board computing systems with Linux are being procured through a GEM-based tender to equip computers in schools. Our website www.ksgoa.org ensures each of the 65,000 students has a personal dedicated web page to submit assignments and entries for competitions, etc. Social media tools like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the rate of KSGoa are used to disseminate information about the scheme. To promote the scheme, the PMU took up several initiatives. Taluka level meetings with school headmasters and management, expression of interest for non-commercial partnerships and associations from industry experts and institutions received 25 plus applications. A logo design competition for the scheme. Competitions for students such as lantern coding and Christmas star coding. YouTube live boot camps for students during holidays. The impact of the scheme has already been noticed and widely reported by media like the Better India, India AI, TOI, etc. Goa has pioneered the way of introducing computational and design thinking skills and making it available free of cost to all students who otherwise would have been left behind in the smart race promoted by private edtech companies.
एक कडेन हांवें अशें एक लेख वाचिल्लो and it says something like this, and I found it very appropriate to bring it to my audience here because we are coming from the education background, and it says something: to often we give children, too often we give children answers to remember. Too often we give children answers to remember rather than problems to solve. हांव हांगा कित्याक लागून अशें हें कित्याक लागून म्हाका हो लेख बरो दिसलो. जायते फावटी ओके वी आर ऑल टीचर्स मे बी वी आर ऑल्सो फॉल्टिंग मेनी टायम्स. जायते फावटी आमी भुरग्यांक म्हणटा न्ही यू स्टडी द question papers of the past 5 years, okay, and something similar will come during the examination. But I want to just flip this, and I will tell you why. When this particular child who has been given a training on being exam specific or exam oriented, when he goes maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years later into the real world, what are we expecting this child to do? Because that time the life there will not say, I will ask you questions which are only related to history. I will ask you questions which are only related to भूगोलाचेर तेजी प्रश्न आसा ते प्रश्न करतलो. जे गणितार आसा तेच हांव प्रश्न करतलो. That is not what the life will throw in front of us. That's why we require to do something which has been really emphasized in NEP 2020. And what does the emphasis there talk about, especially for school education? And the emphasis is there on this particular two words which is coming repetitively. One is on problem solving. Another word it talks about is computational thinking, design thinking, mathematical thinking. The concentration or the emphasis there is on thinking, and why this is important. And what we as PMU is trying to bring innovatively through this particular one small subject, a specialized subject which is given to us. We have revised these particular things we want to do, and I will pay some more attention in my remaining slides. जाल्यार गेल्या वर्साक आता academic वर्स सोंपलें. There we have started something called as the regular curriculum, ICT regular curriculum for all my 6th standard, 7th standard and 8th standard. Ami from the new academic year 22-23, we want to launch the advanced curriculum. आता advanced curriculum आणि regular curriculum भितर फरक कसलो आसा काय? कित्याक लागून आमकां एडवान्स करिक्युलम ताची सुरवात ताची उद्घाटनी आमच्या भुरग्यां मुखार हाडपाक कित्याक आमी प्रयत्न करतात काय? कशे भाशेन आमी हे मुखार हाडटले काय? हे सगळे हांव तुमचे सगळ्या मुखार विस्तारान मांडटलो. But before that, I want you all to pay attention to this particular one slide. Why I want you all to pay very specifically. And before I draw attention on this slide, I again want to give one more quote. It is a discussion between one disciple and his guru. He is a wise man. And this particular disciple asked his guru one question, and he said, what is important? Is it the journey or the destination? And this wise man beautifully replied, it is neither the journey nor the destination, but the company which is important. आणि आज हांव कित्याक हे स्लाइड दाखयता आसतना कित्याक उल्लेख करता कित्याक you people, that means the management, that means the headmistress, headmaster has given us the company, has given us the help to launch this particular unique initiative of skilling our teachers, and we call this as the Sumanancho Medavo. It is happening in your taluka, right? Is it happening in your taluka, all the headmasters? Is it happening? I just want to see some raising of hands. Is it happening only in one school? In all the schools, okay? So this is a unique thing, and for this I want to thank all my headmasters and headmistresses, because this is important. Why do I say this is important? Is because we have got round about 500 plus teachers. To train these particular teachers on something which has been completely revamped, on a new way of teaching methodology, did not require just one time we do it. It required we had to give them attention, we had to build confidence, we had to skill our teachers, because teachers, whatever teachers we have got, it is important that we build the confidence in teachers. तुमच्या मुखार एक चित्र दवरता. We have all seen the lighthouse. We have seen some lighthouse. Why is a lighthouse important? कित्याक जेन्ना रातच्या वेळार त्या दोरयांतल्यान पातमारी वतल्यो हांगासून थंय, तांकां एक दिशा दाखोवपाक हे लायट हावसाची चड गरज आसा. जर तर हांव ती लायट हावस, if I keep it at the right place, with the right intensity, then the accidents which can be caused would be less. My teacher, our teachers, your teachers are the lighthouse, because they will be there in your institute for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And these boats which will come are the students who will come every year, new child, new child, new child. If I empower my teacher with the right learning, if I empower my teacher with the right pedagogy, if I empower my teacher by learning the right techniques, it is not that we are creating anything great for the teacher, but we are doing something great for our children. Jenna ek teacher ek bari disha ditli, jenna we empower this particular teacher to be strong in her technical as well as the soft skills which she has got, then we are going to be creating great students coming out from our state. तुमच्या मुखार एक बारीकशे स्टॅटिस्टिक्स दवरता. गोंय राज्यांत आमच्या वर्साक एवरी इयर कितले अशे भुरगे एसएससी एग्जामीक बसता काय? एक 20,000 अशे भुरगे दवरतात. एक स्टॅटिस्टिक्स अशी आसा, वन स्टडी इज देयर, स्टॅटिस्टिक्स स्टडी सेज 10% अशे भुरगे, 10% ऑफ द पॉप्युलेशन इज नॅचरली टॅलेंटेड. 10%, okay, from any population, 10% of the population is normally, okay, naturally talented. 10% 20,000 कितले झाले? About 2,000 झाले. आम्ही आमच्या शेजारच्या राज्यांत मातशी नजर मारली. आमच्या कितले शेजारी आसा? 2 शेजारी आसा आमचे. त्या राज्यांत म्हाका बारीकशे सांगात, वर्साक तांचे कितले भुरगे एसएससी एग्जामीक बसतात काय? एक मारया, तीर मारया म्हणटा ते भशेन. हां? बरें, सगळ्यांकून कमी तुजें घेना, म्हजें घेना, 4 लाख अशें धरया. तुजें सारकें म्हणना, म्हजें सारकें म्हणना, 4 लाख अशें आमी धरया. 4 लाख हो जो statistical statement which is there, let us also apply to this particular 4 lakh. 10% are naturally talented from my neighboring states. The 10% of 4 lakh becomes how much? Becomes 40,000. Do you understand? The 40,000 which are naturally talented by the gift of God from my neighboring state is double the size of my entire population of the state of Goa. जाल्यार ताच्या मुखार हांव आनी एक बेश्टो तुमच्या मुखार आनी एक चित्र मांडटा. आमचे बागेंत आमचे एक बाग आसा म्हणटली, त्या बागेंत जर तर बरी फुलां घाली जाल्यार ताच्या फुलांचेर बसपाक कोण येतलो? There will be a honey bee which will naturally come. We don't have to invite the honey bee. We have to create good roses or good flowers. आता होच आमकां एक आव्हान, सगळे आमकां एक आव्हान. Can we increase this naturally talented pool, that every year can we increase it by a few numbers? Every year increase it by a few numbers is what is the challenge for us in education, that we all are there. जाल्यार हेच कितें मुखार व्हरपाक हे स्किमीचो उद्देश जावन आसा. आनी हें कितें करपाक गेल्या त्या वर्साक जेन्ना कोवीड ही पिडा आमच्या सगळ्या मुखार आयली आमी खूब अशो ट्रेनिंगो केल्यो 9 अश्यो आमच्या टिचरांच्यो ट्रेनिंगो केल्यो 2 boot camps okay which we did 5 different competitions आमी मुखार आमच्या भुरग्यांच्या मुखार मांडल्यो म्हाका विचारूंक जाय आमच्या ह्या बार्देसाच्या तालुक्यांत कितल्यो अश्यो भुरगीं जिखल्या काय कॉम्पिटिशनान any state level winners from here which is the school teacher
Holy Family
okay your management is there here Holy Family no Holy Family ची कोण आसा हांगा parent is there okay management not come asa management is there management okay yes madam you are from Saraswati Vidyalaya I think so management is already here okay and your PTA member is also there okay madam yes so what did you win madam sorry Saraswati Vidyalaya
in light
so first place second place what state level first place okay wonderful can you put a hands for yeah poster competition also won तुम्ही घेता कितें प्राइज हां होली फॅमिली तांका दुसऱ्याक म्हणजे कितें दवरलो मंत्रवाडी ओके सो मॅनेजमेंट सर आसा ओके आनी मागीर कितले प्राइज फर्स्ट हेड मास्टर ऑफ द स्कूल वंडरफुल सर थँक यू व्हेरी मच फॉर कमिंग ओके आनी कोणाक मेळ्ळा हांगा येस थिवी व्हॉट इज द नेम ऑफ द स्कूल सेंट एन्स हाय स्कूल थिवी ओके वंडरफुल एनी अदर्स येस Siram Vidya Mandir. Okay, where is this? Kodwade. Okay. You know what excites me? What excites me is that when I look at this particular students who win, you know from where they are winning? Schools in Kankon. Some schools in Sattari. आणि म्हाका होच एक प्रश्न पडटा की जरी तर आमचे भितर ताका भुरग्यांक आमी ताका एक स्टेज दिली जाल्यार कसली टॅलंट भरून पडलेले आसा आमच्या गोंयांत कसli in this remote village and I'm telling you why because I personally went to each of these particular talukas in the month of October. This is my second visit in all the talukas and when I visit in the talukas I know what are the issues which are there. Somewhere in Sattari and Kankon during the COVID times they did not have basic facilities. Put भुरग्याच्या आणि टीचराच्या मनात एक उपास आसलो. They had one hunger in front of them. And what was the hunger that we will perform? We will do something. We will learn something. जेन्ना भुरग्यांच्या मुखार एक ताका एक आव्हान आसता, एक चॅलेंज आसता. Every child and it is encouraged by the teacher. I think so. Every child performs excellently well. Okay, and this is what I again thank all the winners and I encourage the others, teachers as well as the management as well as the head of the institute to encourage your children to partake in the competition. You know, some of these particular boot camps we did as an online. 11,000 असे भुरगे आयले. म्हाका सर म्हणपाक लागलो आमचे सर आसा ते सर म्हणपाक लागले 11,000 बेस्ट. पण हांवें तांकां म्हणलें यू नो वॉट 60 आनी 5,000 आमचे भुरगे आसात. बाकीचे खंय गेले काय? That is a question. We have to encourage each and every child of us because this 20,000 which appear every year is important for us. We have to take every child personally, giving them personal attentions. आता जेन्ना आमी टिचरांचे ट्रेनिंग केलें ओके काय अश्यो गोश्ट्यो तुमचे मॅनेजमेंट जे आसा हांगा आसा आनी हेड ऑफ इन्स्टिट्यूट जे आसा तुमच्या मुखार हांव बारीकशें अशें मांडून दवरतां. Whenever we are teaching some subject or the thinking or the teaching methodology of the revised ICT curriculum is not only teaching them about coding, it's a misnomer. We teach them more about problem solving. Because when we concentrate on problem solving, can we take the help of the related subjects and make it enjoyable? Because the child is not only learning coding, but he is learning about maths, he is learning craft, he is learning art, he is learning the other subjects which are essential for his growth. Because the subjects are not to be taken in isolation, but they are supposed to be taken together. Because when we develop a child holistically. And that is very important for us. And that is where our syllabus committee and all our resource persons who are there. They concentrate on that. तुमचे मुखार हांव हें मोदें जें आसा हें चित्र आमचें कोडिंग करून भुरग्यांनी दवरलेलें आसा तें तुमचे मुखार हांव दवरूंक सोदतां. ताका म्हणटात 10 grams. पूण ताचे पयलीं हांव तुमकां सगळ्यांक एक प्रश्न करतां. You know, I'm standing on this podium. I'm standing on this podium. This podium, what is the basic geometric shape of this podium? It is a rectangle. A combination of multiple rectangles has made this podium. Now your fans are not working. Wherever I go, I give this example. Look at your fans on the top. Now you can look really well. What is the basic shape of the fan? It is one circle along with a pakte jasa is a rectangle. Sir, can you just go around near that fish? Okay, where the mouse is, sir, okay, where the mouse is pointing. Can you see the basic geometrical objects which has been used to make this particular fish? They have used triangles. They have used one square. They have used some rhombus. They have used all this particular combination to make a fish. So the child is not only learning coding, but he is not learning geometry. He is learning logic because it has to be coming in a particular way, in a particular combination. So look at the colors which this child has drawn, or this particular, rather it is a teacher who has drawn this, but once we train this teacher, when the colors, so he is learning art. When you cut it out and give it to them, becomes craft. So it is not only that we are training them using one coding subject, but using this, there is a lot of other subjects, correlated subjects which are learned. I want you all to notice that particular picture where there are some teachers there and तांचे टेबलार मुखार तांणी कितें करून दवरलां. दिसता तुमकां? तांणी एक सोंसो दवरला दी, एक कांसो दवरला आनी एक माकडसो दवरला. एक टीचर आनी हांगा आसा ती. Okay, which is there. What are they doing? We had this particular session, a training session called as storytelling using puppetry. Why it is important? As a teacher, if I can make something more interesting, I may have 35 minutes, you know. There was this particular nice book which I read, 1 minute in the lift. If you want to convince somebody, you know, you don't require an hour. You require just that 1 minute. There is this concept in management, 1 minute, okay, concept. You can convince it. When we talk about 35 minutes, it is 35 minutes. It's not just 35 minutes that I can't do these things. Yes, when I'm empowered properly, when my teacher is empowered properly, when my teacher is challenged, when my teacher knows why it is important, will I take the hook to my children to make them interested. And that is what we are trying to bring into our into our teachers by this particular different innovative sessions. From the year 2022-23, we are going to be launching the advanced curriculum. Now, advanced jenna manta, we are going to be concentrating on a different skill set. So, what is regular curriculum? Regular curriculum is meant for all children on a limited skill set development. Because if NEP says, if the world's best educationist, right? I'm tongue twisted, okay? If they say this is important, if they say this is necessary, yes, it is necessary. But not everybody is supposed to be a coder. Not everybody, like everybody can't be a cricketer, or everybody can't be a footballer, everybody can't be a great scientist. Everybody is talented differently. That's why the regular curriculum is meant on a certain skill set to be given for all children. But the advanced curriculum is meant for only motivated children. It is meant for children who are interested in learning much more, or the orientation is learning the latest in technology. What is the excitement in technology? Learning the higher level of skill sets. So what we have done, we are going to be launching the 6th standard advanced curriculum from the year 22-23 for our children, only a limited set of children. Through we will do some kind of a screening for those particular children, and once they are screened, they will be allowed to undertake this particular advanced curriculum. जाल्यार आमचे हांगा पेरेंट्स आसता आसा न्ही खूब आसा पेरेंट्स कॅन आय सी युअर हँड्स मेनी पेरेंट्स आर हियर तुमच्या मुखार सदांच एक प्रश्न आसता म्हजो भुरगो फुडाराक करतलो कितें काय ताका कसली सर्वीस मेळटली काय तो कसलो वेवसाय करतलो काय करेक्ट इज दिस अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच वी आस्क एंड दिस इज वेरी नॅचरल टू एवरी चाइल्ड एवरी पेरेंट जाल्यार तुमच्या मुखार हांव एक आनीक अशें एक सिच्युएशन तुमच्या मुखार मांडटा टेल मी वन थिंग when is the last time you all went to the bank? People are laughing.
31st March.
31st March you went to the bank. Okay, must have some tax related activities. But before that, before 31st, बरं 10 वर्ष पहिली नी or 15 वर्ष पहिली, do you know what was the interaction which you used to do when you used to go to the bank for withdrawing money? याद असतं तुमका? What you should do? You should take one. No, you should take one passbook. तुका check नाशिल्लो म्हणून many people did not have checks. You take one passbook. You used to go to the counter, fill the withdrawal slip, give it to the officer, and the officer is to give you one token. Okay, and the token is किती बरोबर दिसता तो न्ही हांव ताका म्हजे बापाय बारो वतालो. Okay, so give me a token. Token बरो golden coin दिसतालो. आमकां used to find that was golden. कित्याक bank म्हणल्यार सदां पयशे दवरता न्ही, so this आमकां भांगराचो पयसो दिसता तो. Okay, and ताचे number आसताले 12, 13. So what used to happen? We used to wait there very patiently. We used to sit there. आणि तो मागीर तो कॅशियर आसा एक बोर्ड करतालो लायक 12, 14 whatever. तेन्ना तुजो आयलो तूं ते काउंटराचेर वचून तुजे पयशे घेतालो. Today in 2022 we are carrying the bank on our mobiles. 24/7 I can do a transfer of money anytime, anywhere to any person. ती गजाल सोड जेन्ना तूं हांगा भेलपुरी खावपाक वता बस स्टँडार तुज्या बॉर्डसान पयशे केन्नाच आय डोंट थिंक सो मेनी ऑफ यू आर कॅरिंग मनी इन युअर पॉकेट्स कितें करता एंड दैट भेलपुरी बाबा उसे सर जी पैसा मत दे दो वो स्कैनिंग है वो स्कैन करके लेना पैसा मिल जाएगा सो यू स्कैन दैट Did we ever imagine, the older ones like me who have got grayed hair, okay, here, did we ever imagine that our situation of banking sector, of the finance sector would be so simplified? This is because of technology, the underground and the background technology which has happened. But dusre, म्हाका सांगा the parents सांगा आयले and think, how many of you all came with this hostless cars? How many came with the hostless cars, parents? Especially, what is the name of your hostless car, sir? Maruti. Okay, it has come with the Maruti. What is the name of the Maruti? Swift. His sir is come with the Swift Maruti car. Any other hostless cars? Any one, sir? Parents? Kuba Shilin. Nobody wants to raise their hand. Madam, please come with which one?
Tax.
Sorry, I can't hear. She's come with the bike. Okay, no hostless cars. Okay, now tell me one thing. I want to ask you, sir. This particular Maruti, you have got a Swift. Tell me one thing. That Swift which is there, that was steering Maruti manufacturer.
I think they all assembled.
No, but I'm going to question Gela Kaza Machare. All assembly is a different question. Okay, does it manufacture? Tire जे आसा तो स्विफ्टाचे तो मारुती करता. ती डॅशबोर्ड जी आसा मारुतीची ती मारुती करता. तेही करना न्ही. तो इंजिन जो ब्लॉक आसा 16 बार्स व्हॉटएवर इट इज तो मारुती करता. तेही करना. तो एंटरटेनमेंट सिस्टम जो आसा तो FM आयकता तो मारुती पण करता. तो पण करता तो. तेही करना. मारुती करता कितें It is assembling. But when on 30th of April there is a delivery of 5,000 of this particular Swift vehicles in entire India. maybe 2 or 3 months before, it has to place an order with MRF in their Chennai office for 20,000 tires of a particular specification. It has to place one order in Japan, whatever the company is, for that particular engine block to come. It has to place one order with Motherson Sumi, which is on the steering wheels and the gearbox, maybe 2 or 3 months before. It has to place for the IC chip an order in the foundry in Taiwan or maybe in Guangzhou in China for manufacturing, because everything is controlled by those particular IC chips. This is a wonderful thing called as logistics, and the entire thing is backed on technology. Those are the new jobs. How many people have watched the movie Avatar? Avatar movie? Okay. How many people have watched the movie Bahubali? See, now you have watched any of the Bahubali. Tell me one thing. How is this particular movie made? कशी भाषण केल्या काय you? Wonderful, sir. Do you know that your child in the 6th standard is learning tool called as GIMP? Tomorrow in the 7th standard regular curriculum, they are learning a tool called as Blender, which is based on this animation, which is maybe not the tool, but a similar kind of tool to excite the creativity of this particular big entertainment industry. This is what is happening right now in Goa. And these are the kind of jobs, these are the kind of opportunities which are there for us to grab. These are the opportunities for us to create. Could Goa create the next Bill Gates, Goa-based Microsoft here? Could Goa create the next Jeff Bezos here? Is questions we have to ask ourselves. We never know. We do not know. Go to the previous slide. We have already created for our advanced curriculum with the help of our teachers and with help of our resource persons, we have already created a lot of resources. Resources in terms of our teacher's handbook. We have created resources in terms of videos. We have created resources in terms of different kinds of challenging activities for this particular for our children to be engaged. We are ready to launch our advanced curriculum in the year 22-23. I want to ask you, as the management, as the head of institute, would you cooperate with the project management unit to roll out the 6th standard advanced curriculum in your schools? Please think when I ask. Simply don't say definitely. Please do not say yes, because next I'm going to put conditions. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now, sir, can we go further? So how do we plan to launch this? Now, first and foremost, advanced curriculum is not meant for everybody. It is meant for only select students, for which we will do a screening. Now, advanced curriculum is different from the regular curriculum. Regular curriculum, kaun shikoita? Teacher shikoita, which is my regular teacher who is there in your school. And when is the regular curriculum taught? During the school hours. What is the school hours? From 8 o'clock to 1:30. After 1:30, generally you have other correlated activities, but generally your school, is empty, generally. At that point of time, the advanced curriculum would be rolled out for this particular select students. The advanced curriculum means it is going to be rolled out during the non-school hours. So what is the non-school hours? Outside your 8 o'clock to 1:30, generally it would be in the afternoon session. Are we clear? Now, the question comes, as the PMU, we want to launch this as a pilot run. And why we have come into the talukas, to your taluka and Mapusa, and talking to you management, because we want to identify certain lead schools. Question, what is a lead school? Lead school munge kite. Now this is the definition. Those schools Lead schools are those schools who are willing to provide their resources. What is the resources? That means their laboratory facilities, their laboratory premises during the post-school hours to be utilized for the conduct of the advanced 6th standard curriculum. Now this definition is a little loaded, I will go slowly. Means what? The facilities which are there existing with you. That means your lab as well as your computers which are working. Okay, are you willing to be giving, okay, for utilization during your post-school hours? Then you qualify to be a lead school. Now, sir, can you go to the next one, sir. Now, lead school, go to the next one, can't do this. Lead schools, जेन्ना आमी launch करतात, okay. What we require is in your schools, okay, you have to find out how many working computers are there in your schools, and whether you all are willing as management, as teacher, as heads of institute, whether you all are willing to provide those particular facilities to be established as a lead school. As the PMU, what do we provide? We will provide you the faculty to run this particular advanced curriculum. So there will be a faculty maybe drawn from the existing teachers, or we will be recruiting something called as a Teach for Goa fellows to run this particular activity. Now, what else that we could provide? So once we establish a lead school on the pilot run, these lead schools would be one of the primary focus points for carrying of our activities. See, we are running right now the 6th standard advanced curriculum. As it gets in the 7th standard and 8th standard, we have got activities like drones, robotic kits to be provided, 3D printers to be provided, but this will be on a progressive as and when we get the permission. That's how we will roll this particular activities. Now before I go further, and before I want to engage you by distributing one questionnaire, I want to run a small video about one teacher. Okay. Now this teacher is talking about a testimony. She's from a remote government school in a remote part in Goa. I want you all to see of the enthusiasm in which she has taken. She's one of our master trainers. I want everybody to see the kind of testimony that this particular teacher is giving. Can you play this video, sir?
सेशन चालू आसा सर एक म्हटल्यार नवीन सिलेबस जाल्ले कारणान तेका आमी कोप करी करतात आनी आमचे मदीं इतलो कॉन्फिडन्स आमी बिल्ड अप करता आनी तोच फरक आमच्या भुरग्यांक दिवपाचो आमी प्रयत्न करता मेन म्हटल्यार कितें आसा हितूंतल्यान आमकां कोडिंग शिकोवपाचें ना आनी प्रोग्रामींग भुरग्यांक शिकोवपाचें ना हातूंतल्यान जे कितें प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग आसता की भुरगीं कितें खूब खंयचो प्रॉब्लम पळय की नर्वस जाता सो मेन अशें आसा की तेंचो मायंडसेट असो तयार करप की तांकां स्टॅबिलिटी येवपाक जाय त्यांनी त्या प्रॉब्लमाक एक चॅलेंज म्हणून घेवप आनी तातूंतल्यान सगळ्यात पयलीं आपूण ल्हानशें सुटावो कसो तयार करूंक शकता तें चिंतप ल्हानशें सोल्युशन पयलीं काडप आनी हळू हळू ती सोल्युशनां जॉयन करून त्या मुख्य जो प्रॉब्लम तेंचो आसा तो सोडून घेवपाचो म्हणजे भुरग्यां मदीं एक बरे तरेचो कॉन्फिडन्स तयार जाता आतां लास्ट इयर जेन्ना कोवीड सिच्युएशनाक लागून आमकां भुरग्यांक स्कुलाक आपोवंक मेळना तेन्ना जे कोडिंग आमी स्टार्ट केल्लें एक्चुली इट वॉज स्क्रॅच प्रोग्रामींग पूण आमी तेच प्रोग्राम जो आसा तो टिकटॉकसान मोबायलाचेर भुरग्यांक दिलो आनी अक्षरशः थोडी भुरगीं आशिल्लीं जी तांकां मॅथ्साक इंट्रस्ट नाशिल्लो तांकां सायन्सान इंट्रस्ट नाशिल्लो आनी तांकां ते गुगल मीटचे आमी क्लासीस घेतात ते बोरींग दिसताले पूण जेन्ना आमी कोडिंग इंट्रोड्यूस केलें वाय द टिकटॉक ते आमी आपल्या मोबायलाचेर ती प्रॅक्टिकल्स करूंक लागलीं वेगळे पॅटर्न्स ती करूंक लागलीं आनी तेणी खरेंच एन्जॉय केलें म्हणजे अशें नाशिल्लें की तें सारकें बेजार येवपा सारकें कितें आशिल्लें पूण तेणी आपल्या अनुभवांतल्यान म्हणटा तशें नवीन नवीन पॅटर्न्स तयार करून दिले तेणी पार्टिसिपेशन केलें आमच्या नवे जे आमचे कॉम्पिटिशन्स आमी घेतलेलीं सो तितूंतल्यान कळटा की गांवांतल्या वाठारांतलीं दोंगरार रावपी भुरगीं सुद्दां ह्या कोडिंगान ह्या टॅक्नोलॉजीन फुडें येतात हेंच आमचे खातीर खूब आसा आमचे भुरगीं ह्या आणि तेंचेकडे हो सिलेबस पावोवचो.
You know, what is one statement I liked of this teacher is because my children are interested, I want to learn. That attitude I really liked, and I was like quite impressed with this particular teacher. Now, आम्ही किती केलें ने एक boot camp आम्ही केल्लो. Okay, on as you know that this particular advanced curriculum was supposed to be launched from the academic year 21, but because of COVID and this requires a hands-on, we could not launch this advanced curriculum. So we ran a small test run. We had got our things. We trained, our teachers trained some of these children, and we ran small activities. We gave them small activities just to test whether the curriculum asa, whether how the students would adapt. And तांकां आमी opportunity दिली to present this for other children. Don't हेतू असले की when these other children look at somebody presenting, like a child like them only presenting, they would get enthused. And secondly, we wanted to test out whether by doing this, what will be the response, how those kids will respond. तुमचे मुखार हांव एक दोन कितें म्हणटात AI MLाचो त्या भुरग्यांनी जे कंडक्ट केल्ले तुमचे मुखार एक बारीकशें हांव व्हिडिओ दवरतां. सर, if you can play the first one.
To all, I am Riddhi Siddhe Sarkar from St. Rudolph Institute, Glasgow.
Okay.
And I am studying in 6th standard.
Yeah. This is a 6th standard child who had been trained by the teacher on this subject which is going to come on the advanced curriculum. We trained them on certain aspects. Now, what was the problem in front of her? The problem was there was a picture, there was an image which was given, and it had to recognize from that particular picture using the AI ML kind of techniques which are already there. Okay, can I recognize how many celebrities are there on that particular picture, the number of celebrities, the number of people who are there, and secondly, what is the name of the celebrity? Okay, let us just look at she did this entire thing because she used this to train the other children for the boot camp. But I want you all to see the end result.
So it takes a little time. There are 2 celebrities in the image, so the Toby has recognized. And it has given the name of the first celebrity. First is Vicky Kaushal.
Okay, so this is what it is. Can you do the next one, sir?
Alright. So today we are going to do a new project on playing movement music. So let us begin.
Okay, so what is this child doing? Okay, this particular child is, there is a camera in front of him. Now using this particular camera, it does facial recognition. Whether you've got a neutral face, whether you've got a smiling face, whether you've got an angry face. Now what it does is, if it has got a happy face, if it has a smiling face, it'll play some kind of a song. Okay, so let's see. Let's say it's the neutral song now, neutral face. Now it recognizes the face as happy face.
I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier.
Okay, the point is not that that these children have done something extraordinary. Not that the children of parents who are sitting here cannot do it. The thing is, we are exposing them to technology. Because when we expose children to technology in a proper way, using proper pedagogies of teaching, there is a different kind of thinking levels that this particular child would adapt. The child would learn and try to bring this thing in a completely new, different way. And we have experienced this. You know, when we taught them about Scratch programming, we used some basic geometry steps. You know, the kind of outputs which we got amazes us. You know, it amazes some of these particular teachers. You know, I'm a feedback teacher. So कितें जाणा तूं? Sir, आमकां मातशें भिरांत दिसता भुरगीं आमकां हीं क्वेश्चनां विचारतात ताजी. Because they are much more advanced. Teacher हांगा आसता आमकां रातचें शिकपाक पडटा. You know, you will not believe it. That some of these particular teachers are spending nights learning things because tomorrow morning they have to answer certain questions. That is a challenge. That is what excites. And I think so, some of our teachers are rising, or many of our teachers are rising to this particular new challenge. And here is the challenge, what I want to put in front of my management. आता मातशें आमी कितें करुया एक तुमकां सर आमचो एक क्वेश्चनर दितलो what I want you all to do institute wise तुम्ही मातशें बसचे you can arrange your chairs if it is allowed sir just to sit in a circle you can arrange your chairs I want you all to sit institute wise who's going to be seated with you one is your management representative one would be your who would be there with you along with you in your group would be your headmaster headmistress the third one will be your PTA member the fourth one if the teacher is there the teacher can also sit okay can we just arrange our chairs and sit in a circle everybody and our the afternoon session okay and for whom it is only for select students it is only for select motivated students now the question comes how many students would be there okay in one particular batch and how many hours will this particular batch work now we are looking for 30 students maximum 30 students in one batch it can be low or less than that but maximum not more than 30 students in one batch am I clear now each batch when the faculty is coming how long will this particular batch be engaged the batch will be engaged for 2 hours. The batch will be engaged for 2 hours. Now, a parent, when during the post-afternoon session, you will have to drop the child and after 2 hours, you will have to come to collect the particular child. Clear about this? Now, how long will this particular, the child have to attend? Once every week for only 2 hours. Once every week for 2 hours. How many times, how many weeks this whole thing will go? For about 34. Okay, first this Sumana activity चलतली. So 35 is normally 34, 35 is your entire academic year for the entire. So parent will have to come every week only once. So can we go to the next one, sir? Next one. Now, this is for the lead schools. This is the tentative timetable for the lead school. Now let us say I am Saraswat Vidyalaya. Okay, I am very much interested in becoming the lead school because I want to cater to the students of this particular college. So Saraswat Vidyalaya say yes, we are enthused by this entire activity we want to do. Now, normally we have given a set of timings. The timing would be let us say your school gets over by 1:30. The first batch or the session 1 would be starting at 2 o'clock and would end at 4 o'clock, 2 hours. The next batch would start at 4:30 and end at 6:30. Now this is what we are proposing. This is what we are proposing. So this would happen on Monday, 2 sessions, session 1, session 2. The first session 1 is going to start at 2 o'clock, end at 4 o'clock. Session 2 will start at 4:30, end at 6:30. The same thing will happen on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Holidays are there? Clear. Now, let us say why I put him in a group is because of this. That Saraswat Vidyalaya say on Monday we have nothing. Okay, our school is free, our premise is free for the next whole year. We can commit Monday, session 1, session 2. That means 2 to 4 batch session and the next session 4:30 to 6:30, not a problem. But on Tuesday, what happens now? We have got some yoga classes. Okay, we have got some particular classes. That's why the premise, sorry, we cannot give it on Tuesday because my yoga starts at 3 o'clock and ends at 4:30. So both these particular things may not be possible. Okay, but on Wednesday we have no problem. Wednesday we have no problem. Thursday we have no problem. Okay, Friday we have no problem. But on Saturday, okay, there is some chess-related activity, sports which we do, and that starts at 4:30. So that time we can conduct only your first session. So how will this whole timetable, when we are going to be filling on the questionnaire for Saraswat Vidyalaya, we look? For Monday, S1, S2. For Tuesday, blank. Both these particular cells will be blank. Wednesday, S1, S2. Thursday, S1, S2. Friday, S1, S2. But on Saturday, it will be only S1 and the next one will be blank. This is what Saraswat Vidyalaya is saying, that this is what we can provide for conducting these particular sessions. Am I clear? Now I want to bring into focus to Saraswat Vidyalaya how many students they will be catering. Let us see. Let us just multiply. See, suppose they had no this kind of a restriction. All these particular cells they were okay with that. So on session 1 on Monday, we said maximum of 30. That means in the first session 30 students will come, and on Monday second session 30 students will come. So on one day for one session 60 different students will be coming to learn. So on Tuesday another set of different 60 students will come because thanks to the management of Saraswat Vidyalaya. अशें करून तांणी जर तर आपणाची फॅसिलिटी दिली जाल्यार and if they are willing to give, how many students will come here thanks to the openness and the willingness and the open mind of Saraswat Vidyalaya management? There will be 360 students every week, different students who will be learning for the next 34 weeks. You get my point? I'm just giving an example of Saraswat Vidyalaya. We have got so many other schools who may be willing like this to provide their facilities to be used for the students of your taluka. Now, I want P is already ready, but I just complete this, and when you are feeling this, that time you can go for a tea. Thank you, sir. Now, तुमच्या questionnaire तुम्ही पहिले now you can look at the questionnaire. If you look at a questionnaire, there are 11 questions. There are 11 questions. The question number 1 to 5 are the question number 1 to 4, the 5. Sorry. Question number 1 to 5 are simple questions. What is the name of your school? What is the name of the headmaster? The phone number and all those things. You can easily fill those particular things. But that is not where I want you all to concentrate. Where I want you all to concentrate is on question number 10. I want you all to concentrate first on question number 10. What is question number 10? Question number 10 is this. Which day in the bracket days of the week could the school premises / laboratory be committed? Now, on the right hand side, you have got a tabulation. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. After every day, Monday, there are 2 cells which are kept empty. Now, as I give an example, if on Monday you are okay with the first session, you write the S1, but not okay with the second session, you leave it blank. On Tuesday, both the sessions are okay with you, you write S1, S2. On Wednesday, both the sessions are not available, leave it blank. Like that you continue, okay, till Saturday by filling those particular blocks. S1, S2, you fill this. That's why you require to talk to a computer teacher, a head of institute, and the management is here because of this. Have you understood the question? Any doubts? Any doubts on the question number 10? Any doubts on the question number 10? Okay. Now, if there are no doubts, please don't feel. Please pay attention. Now, we require to go to question number 8. What is the question number? This is very important question. Question number 8 is how many, please pay attention, how many working computers systems, please pay attention, how many working computer systems are present in your laboratory, in one location. उदाहरण देऊ शकता. You may say, I have got 20 computers, but right now only 3 are working. So what you will write there? 3. You may say, I got 20 working systems, but 5 of them are in the office, okay, and 3 of them in the lab. So how many systems I have got? in the lab, put to the computer, sorry, in some other lab, but computer lab कितले उरले? Okay, 12 उरले. Okay, you understood? Please be truthful. Now you may अनेक उदाहरण देता हूँ. You may have a situation like this that somebody has promised me, and for sure in June, not only 5, I have 25 machines which are going to come. Please don't write prospective. As of the 8th of April 2022, what is the position in that particular lab? Please write the factual things. See, that is not a problem. You may not have, that's a fact. You are doing a favor on this. It's a fact. You may not have, not a problem. Okay, clear about this particular question? How to be answered? Please be honest when we are answering this. Secondly, somebody asked me when I was there in some other taluka, sir, can you Department of Education? मागे ते आमकां प्रश्न करतले. आमी कंप्युटर नासतना भुरग्यांक कंप्युटर शिकयले कशें म्हणून. ओके? ताणी म्हाका म्हणलें कंप्युटर नासतना भुरग्यांक कंप्युटर कशें शिकयले काय म्हणून. ते म्हाका दिसलें नो. This is only meant for us. Okay, it is only meant for us. Please be honest because this is something we require you to be honest so that it is a genuine problem. Whatever is there, let's be honest about things. And this will be confidential. Now let us go to question number 7. Let us go to question number 7. Question number 7 is related to question number 8. Suppose you say in your one location working computers are 10. So question number 7 says how many students, please pay attention, how many students can be accommodated per session on dual sharing basis, dual sharing of the computer system and having the needed infrastructure in the laboratory. What it means? मुझे 10 system working system असा. जाल्यार हांवें कितले स्टुडंट्सांक recommend करूंक जातले dual sharing 10 multiplied by 2 is equal to 20. But the question comes, for 20 people to be accommodated, you know what is the space which is there, because 20 म्हणल्यार तांकां 20 कदेलां जाय पडटलीं, तांकां फॅन जाय पडटले, भुरगे बेश्टे आटोवंक जायना न्ही. Okay, there has to be a roaming space, so you know what is your current situation. Answer taking all this into consideration when you write those particular answers there. Okay, which brings me to question number 9. Now question number 9 says, is working internet provided in the computer lab? The answer is yes or no. Now I want to clarify here. Many a times you may not have internet, and internet is not a requirement. Internet is not a requirement for my advanced curriculum. We just want to know what is the correct position in your school, so that we may require to take some needed actions if we can, whatever we can do. But you be truthful. You be truthful in writing the appropriate, correct answer there. Need not be just because internet is not there and you cannot provide internet, you cannot become a lit school. Yes, you can become a lit school if internet is not there. If internet is there, all the more merrier. All the more merrier. Now you can feel, but I want to give a disclaimer. I want to give a small disclaimer, and this is the most important disclaimer. Situation may happen such that we conduct a examination for screening, and the lead school has been, I'm just taking sir your school's name. Lead school is identified as Saraswat Vidyalaya, and Saraswat Vidyalaya says 360 positions for students are available in my school. They are all willing and all out to give it. When the examination comes, when the examination is conducted for the taluka level students, it may happen that in the first 360 students, not even one student from Saraswat Vidyalaya is selected, because this is on merit. Not one student from Saraswat Vidyalaya is getting selected. Now Saraswat Vidyalaya, so I am putting this proposal in front of you. Saraswat Vidyalaya says, ना आम्ही आता बंद करूया कित्याक आमचे भुरगे एकूय ना, आमकां कसो फायदो? आमचो भुरगो एकूय ना, आमी कित्याक करूंक जाय हें? मातशे विचार तुमचे लागीं मांडटा. हे आमी करतात आमच्याच भुरग्यांक लागून न्ही, पण आमच्या ह्या तालुक्यांत जी भुरगीं आसात तांच्या भविश्या खातीर. Because if one child is given the facilities which God has provided you, which your management has provided you, which you are giving to your children, it could be a great initiative if you can share it with the other children when you become a leader. Okay? Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now you can answer. And Kiran Chopikar sir has said that tea is also ready. So if you want to also, while answering, you can have your tea. But I want you all to write your answers and give the feedback. You cannot take this question at home. Huh? You have to fill it and give it to me. Sir, you got a question.
Isn't the config of the computer important? You can't be opening outdated computers for boring.
It has to be Linux based.
Linux.
We run the Linux system there.
It's a Linux system.
As long as it is working, sir, it will try to do something.
Because some are really out there.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Yes, teacher. Yes, sister, yes. Then, okay, can I have something to silence? Is there a contest? Is there a contest? Can you give it to sister, please? Can you give it to sister, please? Okay. Yes. Okay. So can I clarify this? So this was a question which had come even when I got to Sattari and Hanuman. We have given here that the last session is starting at 4:30, ending at 6:30. When there is winters, when there are winters, you have got a sunset which is happening about 5 o'clock and all, in darkness. So many children, many parents and all express there, sir, why do you want to have this particular thing at 4:30? I said, you suggest. This is what I have put. You suggest. That's why the question number 11 is there for giving me your feedbacks. So you can say that, sir, it would be good if we can have a session from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Only one session from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. If we are having two sessions, we'll have one session from 3 to 5. 3 to 5. That is one suggestion you can give. And accordingly, you write there only S1, S1, S1. You can do that. You can do that.
Good afternoon. I think, I don't know for the rest of the schools, but at least for this particular school in Bardez, we are running systems which are on C++, not Linux based. And the Windows which is there is pirated, it's an old version. So that would come as a hindrance for coding.
Don't worry about that.
For C++, I'm not saying the old version, not on Linux. It's not working on the Linux platform at all.
So what you do now, sir? See, now I will just explain to you how we go about it. Can I just explain to you how we go about it? Can I just 2 minutes if I can get your attention.
Yeah, we start the session at 2 o'clock. Teachers will be able to come.
The faculty will provide.
The faculty will be able
Yes,
to reach by 2 o'clock.
yes. The faculty will not be your computer executive. They will be what we will provide.
Secondly, how do you decide which student was in which batch?
That is what we will have to do.
Because some parents want that one, nobody wants the second one.
Those combinations and all those things will be there, sir. Okay? Like it is the river or whatever we cross it off there. These are like problems are there. But there was okay, you had there was can I have your attention? Just 2 minutes? 2 minutes. There was a query from St. Vitos, okay, saying that आमचे लागीं system जे आसा ते कोण येतोच ना सगळे पण कोण नाही आसा. So आता आम्ही किती करतले? What we will do? We'll go like this. We'll go activity like this. जेव्हा तुम्ही feedback घेतले, okay, we'll take it up. Okay, we'll try to analyze in this particular taluka which particular lead school. Now I want to give one more disclaimer here. I want to give one more disclaimer. We may select, there are so many lead schools which are there, but government will give us approval whether that particular lead schools is. So government may tell only 4 in the north lead schools kara and 5 in the south. But still good one. They can do that also. Okay, so because this is a pilot run, they may say that you may have all the facilities, but don't come and say like, sir, I'm only facility like not only 15, we had got 40, but I'm just select down na lead school. So let us, I'm telling you first only that it depends on the government how many lead schools to be selected. Okay, get my point? Now coming to the question, the other question is आमचे लागीं जर कोणते system असा. So what we will do is we will try to, if it is selected, Windows is selected, we will do a check, a physical check about what systems are there, whether it is actually physically possible to conduct, yes or no. Suppose it is Saint Anne's or Saint Brito's, okay, you all sit together, the management, the head of the headmaster, and the PTA member along with your teacher.